Hey everybody, welcome back to Walking to the Moon with the Chula Amigos. Today's sponsor is La Choza Taqueria and Torteria, and this is the place where you're going to get the authentic Mexican vibe, authentic Mexican food. On the weekends, they make fresh tamales. They also do their own in-house tortillas, and the address is 1407 North Grand Street, Suite 200. And you also call in your order before, so you can get your order and get out. It's 806-383-8826. Welcome back, everybody. It's Walking to the Moon with the Chula Amigos podcast, episode number 8. We got a very special guest with us, GLUTECLUB's owner, Jessica Lopez. How you doing today, Jessica?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing great. I'm doing as good as I can be.
Good.
Yes.
So good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for having us and giving us your time for episode number 8. And first off, I want to know, tell us about where you're from.
Okay. I'm Amarillo, born and raised. So I grew up here, went to school here. Now have my family here. So.
Awesome. Amarillo's very own, huh?
Yes.
I like that. How were you as a kid? Were you bad? Were you a good kid? Were you energetic?
I would say, I don't think anybody admits they're bad.
Right.
I would say I was pretty good. I stayed pretty busy with sports, and that's what made me good in school because I wanted to be able to play sports. So you got to keep your grades up, got to stay involved in school. So that's what motivated me to be good, I guess, is sports. So
What sports were you in?
I played volleyball, ran cross country, and ran track.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Okay, so you're fast. You can play volleyball.
I don't know about anymore, but I used to be semi-fast.
Semi-fast?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. So where did you graduate from?
I graduated from Tascosa High School.
Tascosa High School?
Go Rebs.
How was that?
It was great. I love Tascosa. It's such a good school, good teachers, good community, good culture. You have everybody in there from, wealthy people in the middle class, and all the way down poor. We all got along. It was a great school. I loved it.
How'd you like the teachers?
Teachers were great. Yeah, I had a lot of good teachers. I never had really issues with them. They helped a lot when you needed it. So, and I feel like they really cared about the students.
Oh, that matters so much, right?
Really does.
Like, I remember going to school at PD at one time, and it just seemed like one of my teachers, man, they just hated me,
Oh, yeah.
And I wasn't the best a kid. I was kind of skipping a lot during that time. And I'd show up to class, and the teacher be like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, what? God,
Yeah.
Caught me off guard. I'm like, I'm here for class. She's like, but you never come. What are you doing here, And I believe, good teachers, can bring good energy to the class and make the kids feel good,
Yeah.
Like that goes
And that's just so
far.
part of their job is making you feel comfortable
Right.
and helping you learn. It should be a passion that they're passionate about. So
Yeah, that's how I feel about every job, man. People should be passionate about it, right? And it's just so crazy how like clerks or cashiers, they're like so non-passionate about their jobs, and it's like which is understandable, because like who's really passionate about taking people's orders or giving them the money back, and but at the same time, you as a person, I'm just like, man, why ain't y'all happy, or why put on a smile or something,
Yeah, you should be at the best at everything you do, even if you're a fry cook or wiping down cars, whatever it is. So,
right, with a smile on your face.
Yeah, and that's how you get promoted and go up from there. So.
Right. Yeah, you never know who's watching you, right?
Right.
Opportunities can come, and that just being off of you being a good person,
Right.
Opportunities could come. So, how many kids do you got?
Me and my husband have 4 together. So we had 2 from previous marriage, and so those are my bonus kiddos, and then I have 2 together. So ranges ages 20, 18, 13. They all just had birthdays, so I'm having to think. And then 8 So they're 8, about to be 9, 20, about to be 21, 18, 13. So
That's
yeah,
crazy.
3 boys, 1 girl. So she's a princess and
Okay.
got her wild boys. So
Is she the youngest? The
yes,
girl? Yeah.
baby princess.
Yeah. Me and my family, our birthdays are freaking January 3rd, January 29th, February 1st, February 18th.
Oh yeah, so y'all are
So-
just like boom, boom. I feel like that's how we are. Like once the new year hits, it's just like dude, Andy, my husband, he's December 28th. We got January 7th. We got March 5th. We got April 30th. My birthday's April 4th, and then we got May 5th. So
Do
it's
you
just
do you like getting them out the way like that? Like, or would you prefer to have them scattered out?
No, I feel like we're busy every month, but I guess it's good to, and then that summer on, back until December, we're kind of cooled off. But we do have nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles.
All in between.
Yeah, mother-in-law, all the stuff. Mother's Day, Easter, and then it's just busy. So,
Awesome.
but it's good.
So, tell us about your beginning in the garage, and how many clients did you start with then, and what time would you start your classes?
Yeah, so we started in the garage actually 2020. So how it kind of worked, I had some friends. So we had some friends that I was working at a gym here, and we would do, I left there in November, right before Thanksgiving. Started training them from November to December. Just my friends, a couple of like 4 or 5 girls. And we would get up early, and of course social media was booming then, so I would record that, had them in the garage, and then January 2020, I started promoting it more, started getting more girls. Now my garage was not huge, it was just a 2-car garage, so I would allow like 10 girls at one time.
Okay.
Then of course, I was still working 2 jobs then. I left my job in March of 2020, and then the next week, COVID happened, 2020. So we were all kind of like, we don't know what this is, what's going on. And then, you know, I kind of shut it down for a little bit. My husband actually got COVID. He was an essential worker, so he couldn't take off during that time. Got COVID. Thankfully, nobody else got COVID in the house, but I did shut down the gym for a little bit. Opened it back up in June 2020. And my husband, we made like gym flooring. We made the LED lights before anybody was doing that. We had 1 squat rack, a couple dumbbells, kettlebells, a couple barbells, bands, of course. And then he told me, you know, if you can get this filled up, I'll give you the other half of the garage. Because on the other half, he had all his tools, his lawnmower stuff. And he's very organized, so he had it all pretty on that side. And I was like, and then after a while, he was like, dang, you already need the other side. So that summer, him and his dad built a shed in our backyard, which is very hard to do, by the way. We know why they make them and pre-build them and then bring them to your house. It's hard to do it from the floor up. But anyways, they did that, got it done in like a week, put all his lawnmower, all that good stuff in there, weed eater. And then I took up that other half. He came home one day, and I had cars down my street, all the way down.
Yeah, it looked like you were having a party.
Yeah, every day, and like in the middle of the day. So I was letting like 10, maybe 12 people. Now we were using my driveway, we were using my alley. I had girls lunging down the alley. It was like 107. We had to buy one of those big fans from Home Depot. He got me a big fan, and it kind of blows out water too. So girls would be behind there, put it on their face. I had like a little dry patch of grass between me and my neighbors. Thankfully, the house next to us was for sale, so nobody lived there.
Okay.
But there was a little grass patch there. Girls would go and throw up over there, then they would come back in. It was crazy, but they loved it and they enjoyed it.
So you said you started off with about 10 girls.
Right.
And so was that just throughout the whole period? I mean, before you got open to the other side? Or was there
I would say
10 girls to each different class?
So there was classes all day.
Time?
So I would do 5 a.m., same times as we do now. 5 a.m., 6:15, 8:30, 12 o'clock, 4:30, 5:45, and 7 was my last class.
Man, and so what, each class had about 10 girls in it? Oh, so you kind of, so give us this picture. When you started, it was about the 10, and then what? It went to like, I'm setting up these other classes, and the 10 more came, 10 more came, 10 more came, or just 70 of them were ready to go.
Well, what I would do for a little bit, I would just kind of post the times that were available, and then people would just
people would pretty much,
DM
like,
me and
kinda sign
Venmo
up.
me and say, here, I'm coming. I think I was doing $5 a class or something like that. Maybe 10, I can't remember. But I would do that. Then I got a little app the night before I launched my website app to join. I got 1 hour of sleep because I was trying to figure out how to convert emails, and it was a whole process. But I did that. My husband, of course, helping me with all the back end stuff, and people would sign up. Now, if there was spots, say that I only had 8 girls in a class, I would post them because we would drop the schedule on Sundays around 5. And if there were spots, I would say, hey, I got 2 spots at 12, or I got 2 spots at 5:45, and they would book them.
They'd fill up.
So, and I would have to turn girls away. I would just be like, I don't have any more room in my garage. So,
Nice.
or, it would be packed in the class. And like I said, girls were working out, doing abs on the driveway. Thankfully, like I said, my neighbors were nice. My across neighbor did message me one time. He said, do you mind turning down your music? It was 5 in the morning, and the music was like, it was a timer. We do HIIT Tabata classes, so there's like a timer, and it was like 3, 2, 1, and it was loud.
Yeah.
And so he's like, do you mind turning that down? And I was like, yes, I'm so sorry. Like, you don't want to hear that at 5 in the morning? Or, but yeah, so.
It's like my neighbors when they're getting ready to go to work. All of a sudden, all I hear is the truck.
Oh yeah, so loud, right?
Yeah, and I'm just like, man.
But other than that, I did have one neighbor just say if y'all could not block my mailbox. But we knew at that point it was time to get a bigger spot.
Time to move on. Oh, and from that, so from the garage, you opened up your own first gym. How did that feel?
It felt good. It felt very nerve-wracking, exciting. I think anytime you're about to change something big, it's very nerve-wracking. You don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're going to know what you're doing, which I think we don't know what we're doing. We kind of learn as we go.
Yeah.
Me and my husband always say YouTube University. But we've learned a lot.
University?
YouTube University. You can find anything on YouTube. So we're more hands-on. So we like to do things ourselves. We don't like to hire people. If we can do it ourselves, we'll do it ourselves. So him and one of my friends was a realtor, and she was a commercial realtor. And she found us that spot, and it was perfect for the aesthetic part that we were looking for. So then my husband, from there, he designed how it was going to look. Him and my father-in-law started building it with the flooring, and my husband did all the lighting. He used to be a manager of a club, so he knew how to set up lighting, and it's GLUTECLUB, so wanted to have a club atmosphere.
Club vibe.
That's why it's like dark with the lights and all that
Neon
stuff. So he did all that, set it up, and we were just in that one spot. Now, when we went from the garage to this spot, I don't know if you were going to ask this, but we had a line wrapped around the shopping center to get into this spot. Again, not knowing what we were doing, I put people on a wait list. I was like, okay, because I was worried that we were only going to have this amount of classes, kind of like we were in the garage, and I was going to have to turn away people. So we just did memberships, pretty cheap still, and then it got booked out to a wait list. Well, then we had that one spot. Now, there was a little tiny spot where there was a nursery. It was like a small room. We ended up knocking down that wall. My husband and my father-in-law knocked it down, opened that spot up. That still wasn't enough space. So then we contacted my friend, again, the commercial realtor, and we're like, what about the space next to us? Can we use that? And how much would it be? Kind of half joking, like, I don't know if this is going to be too expensive, but she ended up getting it for us. We opened up a wall and made it through to where you could walk through that side too. So it expanded that way, and then we were able to take off that wait list. But it's still today, I still have people ask me, is there still a wait list? People that contact me like 2-3 years ago, is there still a wait list? I'm like, no, there's no wait list. Come in.
Come in.
There's
Just come in.
space. There's lots of space. So, and I don't know if you want to keep going because then there's more to it. After that, of course, then we came to this space. So this space is going to be the space for a while. It's the biggest space we've had. It has showers now, which we've never had, which people requested. You can get ready, showers, has utility room, an office, and it's just big enough for everybody.
Well,
so.
Speaking of that line that was wrapped around the building, how much people had signed up that day?
Oh gosh, you know, it's been so long. I've been 3 or 4 years since that happened. I want to say there was at least 70 to 100 people in that line to get in. So, yeah.
Wow. Just for
we had been promoting it, and just word of mouth can be the best thing or the worst thing, but it was a really good thing for us, and that's really how we've built this whole gym. Word of mouth, people just telling other people and their friends and their friends and their aunts and their cousins and sisters, and it's all women. So it's been a blessing, and that's what we've done. We haven't done too much like ad promotion or anything like that. We've done very well off of just word of mouth. So not saying that we haven't done a little bit. We'll start to get back into it, but yeah, that's how we built.
When you need to promote, you will.
Right, yeah.
Pretty much, right? So it's an all-big gym. And let me know. I mean, tell us a little bit. Is there disagreements and drama in it? Because when it's usually a bunch of girls, you know, there's usually something going on. Or...
I could see that. I've worked in offices with girls, and there can be just disagreements where women are just emotional, and we, you know, sometimes our emotions on our sleeves and all that. So, but for the most part, no. Actually, we have women that all think alike. I guess whenever you get in here, it's a certain vibe. Everybody's here to encourage each other. If you're new, there's a lot of girls that have been here for a long time. They'll make sure you're in their group, and they'll talk to you and say, "Hi, I'm so and so, and is this your first class?" And we have built that community and that culture to where if you are kind of what's the word? I guess sassy, or you have bad will or intentions, you're not going to fit in here, because we don't do that here.
Awesome.
We build each other up, and
positive
it's very
vibes.
Positive, encouraging, and we definitely don't tolerate it here. So we don't like bad vibes, and
that's good.
I feel like everybody knows that here, and they do it for us. We don't even have to tell them. They do it for us, and they want people to feel comfortable, and that's why I built GLUTECLUB, so that women could feel comfortable, because going to a commercial gym for a woman, especially when you're by yourself, can be very uncomfortable. When you don't know what you're doing, a lot of the time that's the reason why people will come here. Two, just men in general, they find, or they hit on the girl or whatever, and they're not there for that, they're there to work out. So here it's comfortable, you can wear whatever you want, you know, sports bras, tops, whatever. People wear things here that make them comfortable, that if they were to go outside to a different gym, they would be uncomfortable wearing that. So it's very welcoming, and that's why I made it for women, to feel comfortable. So
that's nice. This was being a gym instructor and owning the gym. Was that your goal after you got out of high school, or did it just kind of fell into place?
It just kind of fell into it. You know, I was working at a bank, even in high school, and I was on the work program. We had that at Tosca, so you got to leave and go work. So I've always worked ever since I was 15. But I started there around 17, and in that bank, I just kind of went up and went up and went up. I thought I was going to be a mortgage loan officer, and then I got up there, and I was like, no, this is not it. Not what I thought I was going to be. So I didn't work there. I left there. I worked for a boutique for a little bit. And I thought I wanted to own a boutique. That didn't work out. And then, of course, I had my first son. And then I always wanted to be a coach. I do remember thinking that in high school, because I played sports. And I was the type of athlete that would kind of help the other girls. So they would come to me for advice, like, there was one track meet, I remember, a cross country meet, where we were out of town. We're in like Iowa Park or something like that, where if you got lapped, you got disqualified.
Oh.
And so these kids were fast from out of town, and I was like, listen, if you get lapped, make them fight for it. Make them work to lap you. Don't let them just pass you, speed up, try to make them work for it. And so, they did, and they felt good about it after. So I've always been the athlete that kind of helps girls, encourage them to do better. So I always thought I wanted to be a coach. Now, here, at least in Amarillo, there's some coaches that don't have to teach, but a lot of them have to teach unless you're on a special contract. So I did not want to teach, so I want to coach. And I found that coaching and personal training for adults is a lot more fulfilling for me, like I said, especially women. So whenever I had my first kid, after having him, I did not feel confident. I felt like very low confidence. So my husband actually kind of helped me get in the gym again. I started weight training, which I didn't do. I only knew cardio, which a lot of women only know cardio. So I started doing weight training, and I was like, man, this feels amazing. My confidence is a lot better with weight training. I wish every woman could feel like this. Oh. And then I was like, you know what? I could do personal training. We saw an ad on TV for a school here in town that was doing personal training certification, but it was more in depth. A lot of times when you do a personal training certification, I don't know if you know this, but you get online, you do everything online, and then you print out a certificate like in maybe a month or less. It's like real simple. What I did was I went to this school. We did hands-on learning. Okay. And I mentioned this earlier, I'm more of a visual learner. I like to do it myself. Yeah. I can't see it. So we did in-person nutrition. We made food. Went to the local gym, and we did the exercises. We actually coached each other. We learned how to do in-bodies on each other, which is like the scale where you find out how much muscle mass and body fat and water weight you have. Okay. We did it more hands-on, so I feel like I got a better education doing that than doing it online. I graduated from that, and then I started doing online stuff, and then it just went from there. So, and my son was 1 when I did that. Now he's 13. So, been doing it ever since. But yeah, so to answer the question in short form, no, I did not think I was going to be doing this. I had no plans of opening a gym. It just kind of fell in line, and I feel like God's plan always comes through. Yeah. You don't know what you're going to do, but He always knows the plan, and it's God's will. And hopefully God's will that I'll be doing this forever.
Forever. Heck yeah. Who came up with the name GLUTECLUB?
So a combination of me and my husband. We started J. Lopez Training, and he designed my logo, which is a J, but it looks like a woman's bikini bottom, and then our L for Lopez. Then we started thinking that's me, and then GLUTECLUB. Now we didn't want something that had my name on it. Yeah. Because it's easier to just advertise something else than the person. Yeah,
it's easier for other people to identify with something else compared to just your name. Right. I sometimes have that problem because a lot of my stuff is peso or peso ENT, peso gear, peso, and I understand you.
We listen to a lot of podcasts, a lot of business podcasts. So that's always encouraged to do something that doesn't have your name. Right. So we did that. There's also a famous trainer. His name is Brett Contreras, and he does the GLUTECLUB. And I was like, that's an awesome name. I love that. Oh, cool. So with Andy's knowledge in the club and the vibe that we knew we were going to do with the lights and everything like that, and we were going to have DJ come in every now and then, which we do. We have classes with DJs. We decided on GLUTECLUB. So it all came together. It's one word. I know a lot of people separate it, but it's all one word. And then it's usually all caps. So, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so for the first gym y'all moved and opened up y'all's second gym that we're in today, why'd y'all move?
So again, we moved because again we ran out of space. It was just so tight in there. It worked for the time being there, but we wanted to expand and we wanted to have enough room to where we weren't on top of each other. Okay. So yeah, just the space mainly. Also the location. That location was kind of hidden. This location has a lot more traffic, and we've always loved Wolfland Square, which is where we're at today. It's historically known as a very good shopping center in Amarillo.
Yeah.
And so they do a lot of events here in the square.
Yeah.
They take care of the shopping center. It's always clean. If it snows, snow removal is really fast. They actually care about the shopping center. So that is one reason we
It's an
moved.
easy choice.
Yeah. Space, and we love being here in Woodland Square. So.
Can you tell us about the challenges y'all got going on in the gym?
Yeah, so we do several challenges, which I know Oriana, your wife, loves the challenges. She does
Yeah.
great. She wins a lot. She's a hard worker.
She won a couple of them.
Yeah,
Crazy.
so we just finished one. It was March Madness, so it's kind of set up like the brackets in basketball.
Okay.
And if you knocked out a team, you moved on to the next week, and then challengers. So that was a fun one. We do quarterly challenges, so we did a New Year's one just passed. So they're usually 8-week challenges, and we do it based off 3 things: body fat mass, which is your pounds in body fat. Body fat percentage, which is your total weight and a percentage of that's body fat.
Okay.
And then muscle mass, skeletal muscle mass. So how much lean muscle mass you gain. So we don't do it off of weight. We do it off of those 3 things. And we use an in-body weight machine to kind of keep track of that. And we scan in beginning, middle, and at the end of the challenge. And then the challenge winners usually win money, or they win gift cards from local other businesses. We try to keep it local, and so that they can use other businesses that are also local.
Nice.
But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. 8-week challenges. We do January, New Year's, spring, summer. So 3 main ones, and then we do fun ones with that. So,
What do you think sets y'all apart from other gyms in the city?
So I think what sets us apart, number one, again, we're all women. That is a big difference. Also, just our community and our culture. Like when you come into the front, we know you by name. You're not just another member to us. So
Nice.
we know usually your name, your kids' names, your pets' names. If you had a birthday party, we're like,
Yeah.
how's the birthday party? It's not just like, hi. It's usually like, oh, how was your weekend? I know you had a birthday party. How was that? Or are you getting excited for your wedding? Or, how was your cruise you went on? So we know our members, and it really is like a little small family here.
Small
So we keep it tight-knit, and we really care about the members. So also, I've heard a lot from a lot of members that the cleanliness, we're really big about the cleanliness in here. So we, mop, vacuum, deep clean everything, after every class usually, but also we do a big cleaning once a month. So when you're in here, we never want you to feel like it's dirty or that you feel like it's uncomfortable because it's dirty. I've been to several gyms where you lay down, there's a thick layer of dust on the floor. And I don't like working in that. I know
Or just
my
on the
members
machine,
don't.
I
It's
see
just
that
like
stuff.
you don't want to work out around that. So I work out in here. I want it to be clean, and we don't hire service. We have our team members take care of it. So I think that's the big difference is when you're a part of this community, we really care about you, and
Nice.
not just you, your whole family.
Okay. What's some words of advice you can give others who would like to start their own business?
I guess a lot of advice, but one of the main things is it's probably going to take you longer than you think.
Okay.
It's probably going to be harder than you think, but to persevere and keep going. Always find something that making a new goal all the time. Once you reach that goal, make another goal, but always remembering that it's not going to happen in 30 days, that it's going to take a while probably to get to where you want. But if you keep going, you'll get to that goal eventually.
Nice. What plans do you got for the gym this summer?
So this summer we're having a couple big events. One of them is going to be called Fiesta on the Square, and the whole shopping center does it. We're going to do our first hybrid workout, which is an outdoor-indoor workout. I'm sure Rihanna's told you, but we do glute beats classes where we do all bands. We hire a DJ. But for that event, there'll be food trucks, local vendors that make home goods or homemade treats that'll be here. There's also the Route 66 big event. So different vendors and things come through Amarillo because we're on Route 66.
Right.
We have a big event there. And then I believe there's also a summer sizzle close to July. So all the stores, including us, will be doing discounts and things like that. So as well as we started our spring into summer challenge, and we'll start our summer challenge after that one. So
Nice.
lots of fun plans. It's going to be fun. So
Gonna be a fun summer for Glute Club, huh?
yeah.
Awesome. All right, y'all. So we're at the point of the interview where we do this thing called On the Fly. And it's just to let people know a little bit more about your personality, about what you like, what you don't like. So let's go ahead and start with that. Nike or Gymshark?
Oh, man. I would say Gymshark.
Gymshark.
Yeah.
Gymshark person. Okay. iPhone or Android?
iPhone. Android, I cannot figure it out. I don't know if I'm not smart enough, but iPhone is very simple. I tried Android one time, had it for a day. Me and Andy had one for a day, and we turned it in. We're like, nope, give us an iPhone. So we're definitely iPhone people. You
Nice.
Android people are different.
Yeah. Okay. J-Lo or Beyonce?
J-Lo, of course.
J-Lo. Yeah, already. Drake or Kendrick?
Oh, man, so hard. With the recent events, Kendrick.
Okay. I'm a Drake guy.
I like them both, honestly. I'm not a hater. I like them both.
I like them both too, but
Yeah.
I'm still Drake over Kendrick.
Yeah? Why?
I believe he creates better music.
Yeah?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I think he creates better music. So
He does have some good bops.
it's easy for me to say Drake, compared to Kendrick. Because sometimes Kendrick got some songs, and I mean, he's trying to teach a history class or something, ain't it?
Right,
Which is
yeah.
cool, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I get that.
I'm Team Drake.
Gotcha.
Team OVO. Dallas or 49ers?
Oh, 49ers. Sorry.
Woo! Oh man, I thought
I
we were
know.
gonna.
Amarillo,
I thought for
Texas
sure
is-
it was gonna be Dallas, but
No, my dad is a huge Dallas Cowboy fan, but no, I don't know how y'all are Cowboy fans. How do you do it every year? Like,
Well,
tell me.
when I was younger, I was 49er fan all the way, and once they started losing, being with my wife, their family is a Dallas fans, and so
Yeah.
it kind of got on to me. But nowadays I'm just like, man,
Well,
whoever's winning, I guess I'll take.
Yeah, I don't know. I always talk crap to my dad all the time. But 49ers here recently, I love McCaffrey, which I know he's injured a lot. And they got rid of half the people that I like this year, so who knows? Now, I will say my son loves the Chiefs. I'll go for the Chiefs just because of him. But I'm really not committed to any team right
Yeah.
now. So,
Right.
including the Cowboys.
Okay. Hershey's or Snickers?
Snickers.
Snickers.
Love 'em.
Okay, I probably said it wrong. Huh? She's like Snickers, dude. That's how you say it.
Oh, no.
Hey, it's all
It's
good.
all right.
Heck yeah. I'm more of a Snickers guy too, though.
Yeah.
Silver or gold?
Right now, I'm liking gold, but I've always wore silver a lot of times. But I like gold right now.
Cool. Burger King or McDonald's?
McDonald's. I
McDonald's.
love the fries.
More of a, what do they call it? Flame broiled.
You like the burgers?
Yeah, I'm more Burger King
They do
guy.
have good burgers.
I've seen some crazy stuff about McDonald's burgers, man.
Oh, yeah. I don't
Crazy
eat the
stuff.
burgers, but I do like the fries.
Yeah.
I'll steal fries from my kids.
Yeah, for sure. Totem Totem or Pack a Sack?
Whatever's closest. You know what's closest to me right now?
Right.
Circle
But what
K.
happens? Circle K. Right. So if you're driving down the street, they got this Pack a Sack and they got this Totem Totem. Which one are you choosing?
Depends on what I'm going for. If I'm going for something I know Pack-a-Sack has, I'll go there. If I'm
there.
going something I want to.
For the fresh fruit, you probably go to Pack a Sack. And
Yeah.
For something just.
Oh, if
kinda
I'm going to
quick.
convenient, I ain't buying fruit there.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah. But, I'm not one of those people that's like, no, I'm only going to Toon Totem or I'm only going to Pack-a-Sack.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever's more convenient.
For sure.
It's a convenience store for a reason.
Right, for real. Ford or Chevy?
Oh, man, this is so hard. My husband drives a Ford F-150, so I like Ford right now. But I always grew up a Chevy.
We're gonna
girl.
go with Ford, Andy.
Yeah.
Just for you.
Yes, just for him.
Tupac or Biggie?
Tupac.
Tupac. All right. Yeah. Yeah, you can't go with Biggie. I was just like, Cash Money or No Limit?
Cash money.
Cash Money.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, cool. Nicki Minaj or Cardi B?
Cardi B.
Cardi B.
I like them both.
Card or cash?
Card.
Card.
But just because
Rather
it's
just tap
convenient.
it?
Yeah, I just
I'm gone.
I'm all about convenience. If you can
My
tell.
change is on the card. Everything's on the card.
Nobody ever pays in cash anymore, and people that ask for cash, I'm like, I don't have cash. You know what it's mainly is? Your kids. They always need cash for school. So
Right. FB or IG?
FB or IG?
Facebook
Oh, Facebook or Instagram. Gotcha. Instagram.
Instagram?
Yeah. Facebook is mainly like, I don't know,
Family, friends?
and like older. Instagram grows.
Okay. Popeyes or KFC?
I like Popeye's biscuits. Popeyes.
Popeyes.
My dad took me there growing up.
Popeyes.
I don't eat there now.
Not right now. Not no more. Coke or Dr. Pepper?
Okay, I always grew up drinking Dr. Pepper, but now Coke. We do Coke Zero a lot.
Coke Zero? Nice. Gatorade or Powerade?
Powerade, Zero Powerade. That's what I allow my kids to drink. So.
Nice. Okay, last one. Roadhouse or Longhorn Steakhouse?
Roadhouse. How could you pick the other one? That one's not even in business. Texas Roadhouse, all the way. For the cinnamon butter and the bread.
Yeah, I like their the blue raspberry lemonade.
Yeah, they have a good. I'll
love
have
it.
to try that next time.
I love it. All right, everybody, we're here at the end of the interview. Jessica, would you like to tell them or give them some info that you need to throw out to them to where they know where to come, how to sign up, where to find you, and pretty much probably the next thing that y'all got going for Glue Club?
Yeah, so if you want to come try out a class, we have 3-day pass for free. So you can just download our app, create an account, and then you got that 3-day pass on the shopping cart. You can try out 3 days of open gym, because we also have open gym, or 3 days of classes. So you have a week to use that. That is the easiest way. However, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can come in to the gym. I suggest 10 to 15 minutes before the class, and we can set that up for you. We do offer that free trial always. And then, so also that May 3rd, we are going to do no initiation fee for that Fiesta on the Square. Come out and see us, tour the gym, and then if you sign up that day, no initiation fee.
Nice. All right, everybody, that's episode number 8. I want to give another big shout out to La Choza Torteria and Taqueria, and Peso Fest 3, May 3rd, as a matter of fact. Y'all mess with your boy, man. Keep on coming. Tell somebody about us. Like, subscribe to the channel. Peace.